Hi guys, today I'm going to share some insight into how an externally bought domain can be connected to your WIX website. There are two methods by which WIX connects to an external domain. One is through the pointing method, the other one is the name server domain connection method. So the difference is when you have a domain which is externally bought and it has its own Google workspace, or it has its own workspace and it has its own configuration which is externally mounted, then the WIX website gets connected to that server through the pointing mechanism. Whereas if you don't own a cloud-based or external configuration system for your DNS, but you do have a domain and you want to connect it to your WIX website, all the connection happens through your custom name server setting, which is mounted on your WIX site itself. So if there's any issue when running the website, if it's a name server configuration, WIX support team can give you a resolution on that fault. Whereas if it is through pointing, then since all the configurations are set on your Google domain workspace site, that support has to come from the external domain hosted site. Now WIX cannot do anything about it. So why I am putting some light on this is I have two domains. I have two websites which are connected to two different domains, and both the connection methods are different, though I have bought them on Google domain itself. So moving on to the first website that I'm talking of, my domain name, the main website that I have, which is DigiMarketer Online. This is connected to my WIX hosting server through pointing mechanism. Reason being, I have a Google workspace associated with this domain, and I have a business email ID because I have a Google workspace. So since all the configuration is set through the Google workspace system, I have my CNAME, ANAME all set up on the Google domain site itself. So I have all the other configurations that are required happening on the Google workspace. I have WIX related configuration happening on my Google domain site itself. Now I do have 4 Google domain name servers over here, and the connection is happening through default name server. As you can see, this is active. If I click on the custom name server tab, it says I'm not using these settings. And if I go to my WIX configuration over here, if you see, this is my primary domain and I have a premium account. So connection of an external domain happens only when you have a premium account. The connection of an external domain to a host, WIX hosted website, I have shared that in another video, the link of which I'll put in the description below. If you see here, the connection details says that it's connected by pointing. That means everything is happening on my Google domain workspace. And if I click on this settings, I don't find any configuration or setting related to my DNS. Whereas if I go to the other website that I own, so here you can see the difference. Now the custom name server is active because I don't have a Google workspace over here. If I click on default name server, it does show that I'm not using this and I don't have any workspace associated with this domain. So in that case, what it does is it creates a custom name server. These custom name servers have been configured by WIX on my website over here through the connection method of DNS. That means this is name server configuration that has happened over here, and because of that you have managed DNS records. So if I click on this, so I do have the A name, the CNAME all configured on the WIX site. Now you can see the difference. There everything was on the Google domain workspace site. Here everything is on the WIX hosted site. I do have the CNAME here. This is the default one. This is the one which I configured later. And if I go to my name server over here, so here you can see my domain is connected to the name servers that were generated by the custom name server section as the name servers over here. It was done by WIX basically, but the reason being I don't have any workspace associated with it. So all the configurations, it was taken up by WIX. So if I have any issue that I have to resolve with this site, I can go ahead and do it on my WIX website itself. So if I have to add any CNAME, I don't have to go to the Google domain, I'll have to directly add it to the WIX site. So this is how the two different configurations look like. So if you find some value in this video, please comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.